Hey, it's Reen, your coach, and today we're going to talk about the hidden damage of shrinking yourself and what it means for the new year. This is one of my favorite topics because I am so passionate about how we feel about ourselves and what God says about us, and I feel like it's something that we do all the time. I know I've done it all the time, and I know I've coached many clients through it, is shrinking ourselves and the fears that allow us to shrink ourselves, right? This is just a gentle, honest wake up call for women who's tired of feeling unseen, underused, and quietly frustrated with themselves. So let's just get into it with a truth punch. If I stay small, I'll stay safe. I think that is something that we think a lot. Wherever we have, well, I know where we got it from. It's something that's cultivated within the Christian space. Many Christian women secretly believe that if I don't stand out, I won't disappoint anyone. If I don't speak up, I won't be rejected. If I don't try too hard, I won't fail. If I don't want too much, I won't seem ungrateful. That last one really gets me every time. Like, if I feel like I've felt that so many times. If I don't want too much, I won't seem ungrateful. And I had to do so much mind work, mind reframing for that to now be untrue. Okay? And all of that is our need to feel safe, which is interesting because safety was never the goal. It's never been the goal. And I find that to be interesting because we as Christians have this belief that when we become Christians, we are supposed to have this idyllic, this beautiful life, right? And I'm not saying that your Christian life can't be beautiful. Of course it can, but we have the belief that once we become a Christian, that's it, right? Our lives should be golden. We should not have any issues from here on out. Everything should be wonderful because we're walking with Jesus. And that could not be further from the truth because he himself, it is in the Bible, says when we start walking with Jesus, we are going to have a lot of trials, a lot of heartaches, right? Things will come up even more. Why? Because we are being molded, we are being shaped. And in order to become who we are supposed to be, in order to be like Jesus, so many things has to fall away. People have to fall away. Old habits, old beliefs, old ways have to fall away. And that is hard. The sharing of people and things and materials and old habits, and that's hard. That's very hard. So safety was never the goal. Obedience was, it is. And obedience often requires visibility. It requires courage. It requires growth. That is what it requires. So shrinking doesn't protect your calling, even though we might feel that way. That's why we draw back. But shrinking slowly suffocates it. Every single time we downplay our gifts, every single time delay obedience, or we hide our desire for more. Oh, you know how many times I have stopped myself from telling people my goals because I want to protect them, but also it's the fear of they won't understand. They will probably think that I am reaching too high, that I want too many things, right? And these are not just random things. These are things that I've spoken to God about, that we've had conversation, that this is what I'm aiming for. It's not necessarily things. They're goals that I have, that I've seriously had conversations with God. And they're being molded all the time. But To other people, they might seem outlandish. That's just true. They might seem way out there. And that's why I don't always share them. That's why I choose who I share them with. I should correct myself, because I will be honest with you. When you get into the room with certain people and you share your goals with certain people, you can see the difference than a different room, if that makes any sense. There are certain people who will rally around you and celebrate it, right? And there's certain rooms, certain people that won't, that will feel like you're doing too much, right? And I'm doing my best to honestly pick and choose who I'm around. I'm doing my best to understand that everyone doesn't need to have every piece of you. They just don't. Because when you stop downplaying your gifts, when you stop hiding that desire for more, the people you can speak to, it's different. You start walking different, you start thinking different. And that's when you notice that people will be like, you've changed. And yes, you have changed. There's nothing wrong with that. Let me be the first to tell you, especially walking into a new year, you are supposed to change. I don't know why we think we're not. You are supposed to change. You're supposed to be better. You are supposed to be better. Year after year, God is changing you. He's making you better. He should be making you better if you allow him to. So every time we hide those parts of ourselves and downplay our gifts and just stop, you don't just lose momentum, you lose clarity, you lose confidence, you lose joy. We feel like we have to be invisible, and God doesn't need you to be invisible to work through you. He needs you to be available. He needs you to be so available, right? So this is why introverts struggle so much with shrinking, I will tell you, because naturally we are observant people. We are thoughtful and we are cautious. That is true. And those are strengths. I will not believe that those um, are harmful to us. They're not. These are strengths, right? But it is how you look at it. Because those things, without discernment, those same traits can turn into overthinking all the time instead of acting. I know I've lived this. I'm still living it. I'm not perfect. I'm still living it. Overthinking instead of acting. The same thing, same thoughts over and over before I do anything about it. Waiting instead of building. Ugh. Waiting instead of building. Preparing constantly in a preparation mode instead of obeying. Self protection instead of trust. Putting up those walls instead of allowing people in, right? Especially those that God ordained to be in your life for that season. So you're not lacking courage. Sometimes we lack permission, even though God already gave it to us. So shrinking often disguises itself as being wise, because you tell yourself things like, I'm just being patient. I'm still learning. I'll start something when I'm more confident. I'll start that business when I'm more confident. I don't want to rush God. I want to take my time. I've heard that many times. But wisdom doesn't produce paralysis. And preparation that never leads to action is not obedience, it is avoidance. Okay? If what you are doing is not leading to the next step, is not leading to action, it is not obedience. It is you avoiding. I want that to sink in. There is an emotional cost of shrinking yourself. Shrinking doesn't make you peaceful, it makes you resentful. And the hidden effects includes quiet frustration, a lower, maybe a low grade anxiety, comparison all the time, self doubt, feeling like you are behind, questioning your purpose, questioning what it is that God means for you to do, right? Have you ever felt any of those things? Those are the emotional costs of shrinking yourself. So you deep down know that you are meant for more. Even if your fear argues otherwise and you feel it arguing otherwise. Jeremiah 29 says, His word is in my heart like a fire, and I am weary of holding it in. What God has placed on the inside of you will eventually demand to come out, will eventually demand expression. Shrinking is not the same thing as surrender. Surrender says, God, I will do it your way. I will leave it in your hands. Shrinking says, God, I'll do it if it feels safe, which is two very different things. A very big problem. Because when will we ever be feeling fully safe? One will lead to growth and the other leads to stagnation. God never asks you to erase yourself. He's never asked you to deny your identity. He's asked you to deny sin, but not your identity. Galatians 1:10 says, if I were still trying to please people, I would not be a servant of Christ. People pleasing and purpose rarely coexist. Because if you are out to trying to please everybody, you will never fulfill what it is you are meant to do. Because everybody has a different view of you in their minds. They have a different opinion of you in their minds that they believe to be true. Everyone. And it's different across the board. Is it your job to fix how they see you? Is it your job to please every single person you encounter? What God has for you, what He means for you to do, your calling, right? That and people pleasing will rarely coexist. Never, actually, coexist. So, what does shrinking look like in this new year, y'all? It's about to be a new year. And as the year resets, shrinking sounds like this year I'm just going to observe. This year I'm just going to sit back. I'll wait and I'll see what happens. Others are already doing what I want to do and they're doing it better. Or maybe next month I'll start something. Maybe next year, maybe next season will be mine. But newsflash, the new year does not require a new you. I know we love to say that. That's crap. It's foolish. The new year, new you, that's not a thing. I don't know who made it up, but it's not real. It's just not. The new year does not require a new you, a new personality. You are you. You're going to take that into the new year regardless. I'm sorry, that's what it is. Okay? The new year does not require a whole new you. It does not require a new personality. You know what it requires? It requires a new level of showing up. It requires a new level of obedience. That's it. Isaiah 43:19 says, "See, I am doing a new thing." Sometimes we ask God, give me a new thing, do a new thing in my life. And we still haven't done the old thing that He told us to do. How? We still haven't done what He told us to do before. Yet we're asking for a new thing. The problem with that is God's new thing requires you to show up differently. God's new thing requires a new level of obedience that you probably did not show before. That's what that new thing requires. How are you going to show up this year? Not a new you, not a new personality, new characteristics. No, you still you. But how you show up? Are you being obedient? If you're asking for a new thing, are you ready to do what it requires? Are you ready to fully surrender, to fully be obedient? That's a serious question. Stewardship requires visibility. You cannot steward what you refuse to use. I need you to recognize, especially in this new year, that you have a voice, an amazing voice that needs to be heard. Your ideas needs to be heard. Are you going to steward that business? Your influence? I'm talking to myself too. I'm always talking to myself. Am I going to steward my influence? Because I know I have it. People reach out to me all the time and thank me for a certain episode. Something that I said, sometimes I don't even remember. Am I properly stewarding my influence? Am I giving the right attention to my business? I have another job, but this is something that God has placed on my heart. Am I giving it the attention it deserves? Am I stewarding my leadership abilities? Are you stewarding your leadership abilities? I know I have great leadership abilities, but what am I doing with it? Am I just letting it go? Not activating that at all? What have you done with your ideas? What are you going to do with your ideas? Have people heard your voice? Are you showing up? These are all questions I ask myself, and I want you to ask yourself. Buried gifts don't multiply. You cannot multiply what we can't see. In Matthew 25 and 26, the servant who hid his talent wasn't praised for being careful. He wasn't. I don't think we look at that story enough. He was corrected for being fearful. And we think, oh, if we tuck it away, wait for the right time, it'll be okay. It's not the right time. It's not the right season. If I need to wait. We're still waiting on God to tell us something. We're not going to be praised for being careful. He's going to correct us for being fearful, for not moving out of fear. The new year isn't about doing more. It's about showing up. We don't need to be louder. We need to be braver. Obedience often feels uncomfortable before it feels peaceful. So, let's go ahead and take some action. Number 1, you are going to name where you've been shrinking. You are going to write down one area of your life you've been holding back. Maybe one idea you've you've delayed or one gift you've minimized. Because clarity breaks fear. So write that down. Number 2, replace the shrinking script. An old thought is, I am not ready. But a new truth is, God wouldn't keep nudging me if I wasn't capable. And that is something you should say daily, often. Old thought is, I am not ready. New truth is, God wouldn't keep nudging me if I wasn't capable. And you are. Number 3, choose a brave step. One brave step for the new year. Not even 10, not 5, just one. Example, post the thing. Launch the thing. Launch the offer. Raise your price. Start before you feel confident. You will never feel confident before you do anything. You have to start. Start before you feel confident. Tell someone, this one is for me, tell someone what you really want. Momentum starts small. Number 4, a prayer. A prayer that goes something like, God, please show me where I've been hiding out of fear instead of trusting you. Please give me courage to steward what you've placed in my hands, especially when it stretches me. And 5, just declare this truth. We're going to declare this truth for the new year. I am not behind. I am not invisible. I am not too much. I am being prepared, and I am willing to step forward. All right?